Hey there, Seahawks, it's Miss Adams, and in this video, we're going to take a look at graphing linear functions. All right, so if you get an equation and it's already in slope-intercept form, then you're good. You can just graph the y-intercept and then use the slope to get another point. Otherwise, you might have to rearrange it into slope-intercept form. And remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Or you can use the intercept. So if you have it in the form ax plus by equals c, you find the x-intercept by plugging 0 in for y, and you find the y-intercept by plugging 0 in for x, and then solving. All right, so this one, y equals negative 2/5 x minus 3. Well, it's in slope-intercept form, so I have my m and my b. My slope is negative 2/5, so down 2 over 5. And my y-intercept is negative 3. Remember, because it's y equals mx plus b, but this is a minus, so it's negative 3. So I'm going to go down to negative 3 on the y-axis. That's my y-intercept. And then from that point, I'm going to use my slope, which is down 2 over 5. Okay, so down 2 over 5, and you're always going to the right. All right, so once you have 2 points, that's all you need to be able to draw a line. So now I've graphed my linear function. All right, y equals 1/2 x plus 2. My y-intercept is 2, my slope is 1/2, so I'm going to go up to 2 on the y-axis. Then from that point, I'm going to go up 1 over 2, make a new point, and then I have 2 points, I can draw a line. Again, this one is in slope-intercept form, so go ahead and try this one on your own. This one's a little bit trickier. All right, so your y-intercept is negative 5, so you're going down to negative 5, putting a dot there. Then your slope is 6. Okay, so you might want to make it a fraction so that you have rise over run. So 6 over 1, and then put a new dot. Once you have 2 dots, you can draw your line. All right, this one is not in slope-intercept form. It's in standard form where it's ax plus by equals c. So we can either rearrange it into slope-intercept form or we can find the intercept. So let's try finding the intercept. So the x-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for y. And then if I plug in 0, 4 times 0 is 0, so that's gone. So I'm left with just 5x equals negative 20. And then if I divide by 5, I get x equals negative 4. So my x-intercept would be negative 4, 0. So I'm going to go to negative 4, 0, and put a dot there. My y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for x. So it's going to be 5 times 0, which is 0. That's gone. That leaves me with just negative 4y equals negative 20. If I divide everything by negative 4, I get y equals 5. So my y-intercept is 0, 5. X was 0, y was 5. So I'm going to go to 0, 5 and put a dot there. And now I can draw my line. All right, this one, you could use intercepts, but if I do 10 divided by 6, I'm not going to get a nice number. I'm going to get a fraction. So I'm going to go ahead and just rearrange it into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract the 6x on both sides. So I'm going to have negative 2y equals negative 6x plus 10. Remember that 6x and the 10, you can't do anything with them because one has an x and one doesn't. So you're just going to write them as 2 separate pieces. Now I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. So that's going to give me y equals negative 6 divided by negative 2. A negative over a negative is going to make it a positive. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So it's 3x. And then 10 divided by negative 2 would give me negative 5. So now I have a slope and a y-intercept. My y-intercept is negative 5. So I'm going to go to negative 5, put a dot. And my slope is 3, so I'm going to go up 3 over 1. And then I can draw my line. All right, this one, again, is in standard form. So I can either rearrange it into slope-intercept form or I can get the intercepts. It doesn't matter which way. Either way, your graph will end up being the same if done correctly. All right, so I'm going to use the intercepts on this one. So my x-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for y. That leaves me with 12x equals 24. And if I divide by 12, I get x equals 2. So my x-intercept is 2, 0. My y-intercept, I'm going to plug 0 in for x. So that leaves me with 8y equals 24. If I divide by 8, I get y equals 3. So my y-intercept is 0, 3. If I plot those points, 2, 0, and 0, 3, I can draw my line. All right, write the equation to match the graph. So this time they gave you the graph already. You have to come up with the equation. Well, I can see that my y-intercept is at 0, 4. So my y-intercept is positive 4, and my slope is negative. I went down 3 over 5. So by equals my slope, which is negative 3/5 x, plus my y-intercept at 4. So y equals negative 3/5 x plus 4. And if you can simplify the slope, go ahead and do it, but 3/5 doesn't really simplify. And we're going to keep it as a fraction because it makes more sense. All right, this one, the y-intercept is 0, negative 1. So my y-intercept is negative 1. And my slope is positive. I went up 4 over 2. So my slope is 4 over 2, which simplifies to 2. So I'm going to say y equals 2x, and then minus 1, my y-intercept. All right, that's all.